You know, I can't really say that a whole bunch went very much, well, quote unquote, right for me this month. It's been a heck of a doozy in October. Despite having basically no major life updates to explain away any of the struggles like I could last month, aside from a birthday partway through, I just have not been feeling it for the most part. Reading has been hard, making videos has been hard, writing has been impossible, and even freelance took a larger kick in the groin to get to than it should have. Just about the only bright spot of the month work-wise, in October was actually getting comfortable live streaming a few times on the second channel, considering how many months that I've been saying I wanted to do that, saying that I would do that this year. That is no small thing, to be sure, and I'm glad for it. I'm grateful that I actually managed to get something properly accomplished in October, but absolutely, I can also say that everything else has been like ripping my own teeth out, and if you happen to be my parents, you know exactly how well trying to do that as a kid happened to be. Even more so than other kids. So yeah, October has been a month, but I don't want to waste too much of your time for this state of affairs. I relatively don't have that much to really update you on just because of how uneventful October was, unlike September, which was very eventful and made the state of affairs way longer than it should have been. Let's just get this one over with. We shall start with my videos and statistics for the month, just as we always do. I did post 3 update videos in October. I didn't have any of those bi-weekly updates end up not getting done because I forgot about them or because of other stuff going on, so that is good. I got those videos done. On the main channel, I posted 11 videos. On the second channel, I posted 7 videos and also did 4 live streams. Like I said, I finally got started on getting comfortable with live streams, and I did 4 of those in October, and that was great. It was really, really, really great time. Overall, pretty successful month as far as the actual video count goes. I'm surprised that I posted that many videos at all because it didn't feel like I got very much work done, but maybe that's because I'm not going to be posting very many videos in November. For some of the highlights, some of the videos that I did want to shout out on the main channel, I did a couple of reading diaries, spoiler talks for House of Leaves, which I read in October, and it was a fun time to be able to do those. Those were very rambly and long-winded videos, but I enjoyed making them nonetheless. I did part 1 reacting to some 1-star reviews of my favorite books. That came out in October. I did a how to read video for Sun Eater, which was basically giving you various different recommended reading orders, like the one without any side content, which is very obvious and easy to anybody to look up, but there's the way to read it with all of the side content in the easiest way, and then I had a couple other secondary and tertiary reading orders included in that list as well, for if you only wanted to read some of the side material that was most relevant or something like that. So that video was fun to construct and make. I also did a reaction and sort of response to my very bad Blood Meridian review, and I posted that right at the end of the month, so that was a highlight for me. I had a fun time being able to make fun of myself in that. And on the second channel, I did a couple movie reviews that I'm happy with. I reviewed The Long Walk. I also reviewed Tron Ares, plus I did some other stuff over there as well, but those are the couple videos that got a better reaction amongst an audience, and also that I just enjoyed being able to write the reviews for a lot personally. And I also did live streams for all 3 of the Little Nightmares games, 2 of them for the 3rd game, 1 for Little Nightmares 2, and 1 of them for the very first game, which is the highlight for the month. I did that on Halloween. I did a little bit of Kratos dress-up gear in that, which was fun. That was entertaining. Ended up being very successful. And I'm glad to have gotten to live stream a little bit this month. Thank you to anybody who checked that stuff out. For the statistics in October, actually things went surprisingly well on my main channel as far as general reaction to stuff went. I wasn't really surprising this. I got, let's see if I can put myself in a position that lets me show the stuff up here a little bit better without me cutting in the way so much. I got 2,100 views in October on the main channel, which was up 2%, and I got 213 watch hours, which was up about 3.5%. So my views and watch time for October on the main channel were basically identical to September. I wasn't expecting to break 2,000 again this month, but I did, and I appreciate that a ton. I also got 43,000 impressions on the main channel, which was down nearly 13%, but that means that with a slight increase in views and watch time, that my click-through rate and stuff like that was a little bit better this month, so that is pretty nice. I also had a net gain of 14 subscribers, which put me at 1,053 by the end of the month. It's very surreal to have 4-digit subscriber numbers at this point and for it to keep on climbing. Something that I'm very grateful for. Thank you to everybody who has clicked that shiny red button. On the second channel, I once again had better performance on the second channel than I did on the main channel. That is 2 months in a row that has happened. But on the second channel, I got 2,800 views, which was down 27% from last month. And then I had 360 watch hours, which was down about 28%. But nearly, again, vast majority of those views and watch time did still come from the Clair Obscur Expedition 33 review. So no real surprise there that things are dropping a little bit as that video had kind of hit its peak I guess recommendations, I suppose. It's peak impressions, it's peak general performance standards, but it is still going very strong. It is by far my best performing video on either channel, bar none. I would not be surprised if it had over 5,000 views at this point. In fact, I'm actually going to go ahead and check that just out of curiosity. Let me look up King Crusoe II, Clair Obscur. Okay, it has 4,500 views, so it's not quite up to 5K, but it's probably going to have 5K views by the end of the year, which is just absolutely absurd to me. I love seeing that. Thank you to everybody who's checked out that video. But the impressions is the number on the second channel, which got real crazy, and that was 195,000 impressions, which is a record on either of my channels, full stop. And to be clear, over 100,000 of those impressions were literally just the first live stream for Little Nightmares 3, which kind of makes sense because I streamed that the weekend that it came out. Like, yeah, that was up 84% from last month, and I expect that to dip horrifically this next month. I also had a net gain of 17 subscribers on the second channel, which put me at 132 at the turn of the month, which at the time of recording this, that number I know for sure is a little bit different than that. But yeah, I hit 132 by the end of the month. Right now, my second channel is continuing to grow really healthily, and I'm very glad for that. And now let's talk about the writing that I got done last month. Didn't do a whole ton of this in October, but I did get enough done. Basically, just enough done to get videos out, and that was about it. Which it's pretty standard at this point, but I definitely have not been catching up on review writing the way that I've been trying to for the last few months at this point. For book-related reviews, I wrote nearly 2,300 words, and all of that was just in the Howling Dark re-review, and that's because I did a video for that re-review in October. I posted that video, and so I needed to write that re-review to be able to use it as a script like I wanted to, the way that I did for Empire of Silence several months back. So I did get one book review written. That was the only one, 2,300 words. I technically got 250 or so words written in game review stuff. I've started writing the Final Fantasy 1 review, a brief review video, but didn't get very far in that. I actually planned to be able to write that and also a Little Nightmares 3 brief review before the end of the month, and that just simply did not happen. I've forgotten all about those videos at this point, basically, it feels like. So I'm not counting those 250 words because that's still just the start of a rough draft for the Final Fantasy 1 review. So, like I said, I technically wrote that, but I'm not counting it. I wrote 6,100 words for film reviews, which was no small amount, but that was for The Long Walk, Tron Ares, and The Smashing Machine, all of which became videos on the second channel over the course of the month. So, again, all the words that I wrote there were for videos that were going to be posted over there, so that makes sense. And then I wrote about 5,500 words on approximately 31 album reviews for music-related stuff, and again, all of those reviews were used for the Music Mania episode that came out just a couple of days ago. So, there's that. That totaled to nearly 14,000 words written, right around 14,000 words written for the month, which is, again, another small decline from last month, but it wasn't that much of a dip. But yeah, that's where it's at. I do still have, at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 book reviews to catch up on, at least 2 game reviews to catch up on, not counting critical analysis stuff, which I haven't gotten around to for the last year, but alas. So I still have plenty to catch up on, but I did get some stuff done. So that is good. But for this month, November, honestly, what I'm looking to do this month is basically just take it easy a little bit. The last couple of months I've been trying to get a little bit more into gear, really start like pushing forward on a lot of things, and ultimately coming to overdo it. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. It's just I've had my mind on so many things at once that I need to really slow down and figure out which of these things to just focus on and do all at once, rather than trying to do 15 things all at the same time. And then there's the fact that November is going to be a busy month for me personally. For example, halfway through the month, Shadows Upon Time, the 7th book in Sun Eater, is going to be coming out, and the release gala event in Raleigh, North Carolina is happening on the 15th. So about halfway through the month, I'm going to be spending nearly a week in North Carolina for that event, plus some other stuff that I've got going on down there. So, like, I'm going to be busy for a short time in the middle of the month with that, and definitely not planning to get any work done at all while I'm out there, because every time I plan to get work done on a trip, I end up falling behind because of it. So I'm not going to make that mistake this time. I've also been really trying to get back on track with some freelance stuff, and also reading. Generally speaking, my reading this year has not been good at all. I'll be posting a video either at the end of December or early in January, kind of going over a little bit of that in detail, but like, a lot of that has fallen behind, and I need to get back on a couple of freelance projects that have been waiting for me for a long time. One of which I'm now over halfway through with, I'm glad to say, but I need to get through that project at the very least before I go to North Carolina, for example. So that's something I'm focusing on right now, and taking most of the rest easy. I'm also continuing to get a little bit back on track with a little bit of my physical health. I've been doing drumming exercises again this past month. Like, honestly, it's probably been almost the entire month of drumming, like 5 to 7 days a week, which prior to October of 2025, I probably drummed a solid like 2 handfuls of times throughout the entire year of 2025 before that. So I've been really getting back into that and trying to be a little bit more active, generally speaking, in that sense, and also have a little bit more spiritual growth stuff that I'm trying to get through on top of everything else. This autumn has just been absolutely insane. So November, I'm going to continue that trend and just try to take things a little bit easier, get done what needs to get done, and try to focus on one thing at a time rather than worrying about 1.5 million things going on like I'm often want to do. So yeah, going to try to take it a little bit easier, because quite frankly, just to put it one way, if I wanted to, at this point, at the beginning of November here, if I wanted to reach any of my goals that I had for 2026, that I like kind of formed for myself partway through the summer when I quit my job, I'd basically have to work like 12 to 16 hours a day at this point through the rest of the year to get all of it done. And that is obviously very unrealistic. So I'll make a solid effort where I can and where I need to, and going to be readjusting some things and trying to take things a little bit easier, one step at a time, one thing at a time, and basically just trying to relearn and reorient my focus on stuff a little bit, because yeah, this year has absolutely kicked my teeth in. So I'm trying to not let 2026 do the same, and trying to approach the new year with that in mind. But that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. If you did, I really appreciate it. How did your October go? How do you expect your November to go? I'd be interested to hear, because yeah, my October did not go fantastic. Yeah, I guess that's all that I have to say. So thank you one more time for watching. For now, I've been your host, King Crusoe. You can call me KC, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.